Aloha. You want to know what the messy middle looks like when you're in the process of healing and there's so many information thrown at you, and sometimes you think you're being punished, but you're not. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. And so many times we hear the glory and we don't know the story. We hear the glory and we don't know the story. And we think it happens overnight. But sometimes healing can take anywhere from a day to like years. Years. And disease is so misunderstood. Disease is so misunderstood. We think our body's failing us, but it's actually doing everything right to notify us that something is not in alignment. And most of the time when we are in this messy middle, it is something that is so daunting and so lonely, and mindset is so important. Mindset is so important. So this is my story, and the reason I'm sharing it with you is to give you inspiration, to give you hope, to find another way, and really to listen to your body, and also to tune you into 3 techniques that may really help you in the healing and the questioning and tapping into your innate healing process, because we're all different. There's not one process. And so I want to, first of all, kind of give you the synopsis of what happened. And so I've been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis over 12 years ago. And I was in remission, but then 2 years ago, something happened and nothing worked. And so I've been on this path of up and down, getting better, getting worse, getting better, getting worse. There was a part of me that was really in my ego of like wanting to prove something wrong, especially the Western things in which it doesn't work, and that I was angry about it. And I wanted to prove it so that I can help other people too. But it was more ego and it was more surrendering that I had to do. And the layers and layers and layers of surrendering and letting go, and then receiving. Layers of receiving. And there's always a gift in it. There's always more gifts. There's always more gifts than punishment or whatever it is that your mind is, okay? And you have to be able to talk to your mind immediately, and that the sensitivity is good, and be gentle with it. Sensitivity is good. It's telling you that there is something that is not right. Your body is doing everything that it is to protect you and to warn you, but sometimes the information got crisscrossed, okay? So, you have to understand that sometimes you have to stay in it and not get rid of it, because staying in it, you will pass through. And so there's a combination of compression so that the energy comes in, and then release, and then it will fade and it will be allowed to go. But if you do not talk to it and you do not get in touch with it, then it will continue to repeat itself. And so I was in a really bad place in November, and then my body got better. I was called on to do this reset program of detoxing, which taught me all about these foods, and I was feeling great. I was getting great new visions, and then I was called on my muses, in which I channel now because of an out-of-body experience last year because of the flare happened. And then I don't know what happened, but on the 3rd of March, it hit me like a storm. I woke up and I knew something was wrong. I called my doctors. We got some tests done, because there's a combination of clinical data and that you have to go through, you know, and you got to get really results. So then the stool test revealed that I had a bacterial infection in which I had to be put on antibiotics, 2 different antibiotics. It knocked my body out completely, and I was just having bloody diarrhea. My body couldn't replenish enough. I had to be hospitalized, and then I was in the hospital for 4 days, in which I had to get all of these fusions dripped into me in my blood. And you can see all of my bruises. Okay, my veins are really thin, and so the vein essentially would pop or wouldn't hold, and we had to find a new vein. It was so traumatic. So I had fusion after fusion of like 3 days. Magnesium took 8 hours to do, potassium took 6, and phosphate took another 6. Then there was my biofusion, and then there was steroids, all this, and I've been in a loop. During this time, though, some pretty magnificent things happened, like some of the meditations that I had and insights. It may be the side effects. I don't know, but you have to find humor in it. And when I saw my colon with my sigmoidoscopy, it was all bumpy, right? And it was angry. And so I know that there's still layers of anger that I have to release. Layers of anger that I have to release. So in the meditation though, I saw my new intestine where it was actually more like Bryce Canyon. Bryce Canyon. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's in Utah, and it's all these red rocks. And the redder the rocks are, the more minerals it has. And so it was this beautiful channel of like a clear intestine that was like Bryce Canyon of freeing and all this energy in me. So wackadoo, right? And then we also had a where when I was in that meditation, it told me that I'm on a grid, and there are several grids. There's the magnetic grid, there's the electric grid, and there's the crystalline grid. Okay, and the crystalline grid is the remembrance grid. And so as I laid on that hospital, which was a really, really wonderful hospital, there was a lot of things that I saw that were kind of wackadoo, but then I understood that the grid here is a healing grid and for other people too as well. And so in my meditation, I placed the heart of Tahiti into the land there. And the heart of Tahiti, if you've seen Moana, she has to, at the end, place this stone into the evil entity, and then it changes it back into the beautiful healing entity that it's supposed to be, like the Gaia grid. And so in my meditation, I just had to place it onto that grid for that whole medical area to be healed and to recrystalline. And the stone was black diamond and also black onyx. Black diamond and black onyx. I don't know what that really means. It was just done though. So in this time, you had to find the humor in it. I had really wonderful conversations with my nurses. My friend Maria, who took me to the hospital, she and I have improved our relationship in more ways than ever, and our sisterhood. And she really showed up for me, taking care of me, staying at the hospital for a while, taking some notes. And then my roommate, what a gift she is. And this time around, she took my little girl, and my little girl learned to have a new kind of sisterhood and bonding, and I had to really surrender in receiving that. So that's another gift. And I can't tell you all the wonderful gifts, but there are more than not. So when I got out of the hospital, things were feeling pretty good, but then something happened again where it knocked me down, and I had to ask for a delay in my release because I wanted to really find out what it is that is going on. My eyes became blurred. I didn't have strength. And then this voice comes over, and this weird download happens for me where all of a sudden now I am hearing this voice where it's like this really soft nudge, and it's a repetition, and it repeats itself, and it tells me what to do. You must rest now. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. You must rest now. You have 20 minutes to just lay down. You have 20 minutes to lay down. Then you will recharge. Then you will recharge. Tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. This is just old programming. You don't need it anymore. You don't need it anymore. And it's this rhythm that's kind of like Dr. Seuss. It's really weird. But it tells me what to do. And I ask it questions, and it comes out though. What should I do now? Oh, I am so confused. What will you have me do now? Well, we just want you to integrate. We just want you to integrate. Breathe a little bit longer. Breathe a little bit longer. Breathe out a little bit longer. Breathe in deeper. Breathe in deeper. Breathe out longer. Breathe out longer. These are just like little things that I can just remember right now to tell you. Okay. But it was a side effect from the prednisone that this happens with like my eye. And so with my eye, when I'm on steroids, it forms this like white water thing over it, and then things are blurry, and I'll see spirals, and it's sometimes like things don't line up, and I get extreme sensitivity with my eyes, extreme sensitivity. So this messy middle, I'm telling you this because you may be experiencing it and you think it's weird. Now, one of the biggest tools I can have you connect with, and this, I've used this over and over and over again, but this time around, there's a different, like, practice with it where I even trust it more. So before I started all this, I was doing a 28-day defusing your challenges challenge because I knew March would be miracles and magic, but it's also manic. So I didn't know that, because I got mad that I'm doing this, all these things that they told me to do, these voices, and they're being guided, and then I get knocked down. I didn't know that it was because I needed to get knocked down so I could even refine it more and use it more and have more faith and conviction and grit and trust and confidence in these things. And this isn't for everyone. This isn't for everyone. So the technique, and I'm totally sorry that I'm babbling because the focus is sometimes not all there, being suppressed under these things. So the technique is a Shen technique. It's a Shen technique, and it is about asking. It is about asking. It is so easy that we miss it. There's a sequence to it. It's can you, will you, please, and then thank you. And so you will get into your body and you will state whatever it is beforehand that can change, okay, not what you're experiencing, because it's through awareness and then coming to your senses and then setting the having the motivation and the experience. So for instance, I'll have this contraction right here and there's like weakness and wobbliness in my stomach. Okay, so it's called touch and go. Put your hand on it and then you will say whatever it is that you're noticing. So there is tightness in my stomach and a wobbliness, and this can change, and this is the magic saying, and this can change. I'd like for this wobbliness to go away, please. And you breathe, okay, and then you will ask the questions. Can you please remove this wobbliness in my stomach now? Yes. Will you please remove this wobbliness in my stomach now? Yes. Please remove this wobbliness in my stomach now. Yes. Thank you. And then you do the pico breath, where you breathe in the top and then you have it go to the entire body in a point of exit. So you breathe in slower and you exhale. You breathe in deeper and you exhale slower into your entire body. So I've now learned to ask these questions in a way that is more refined, and you will do it too, okay? And so let's say the feelings of tightness. There's tightness in my shoulders right now, but this can change. There's tightness in my shoulders right now, but this can change. I'd like for the tightness to go away, please. Make it so, make it now. And sometimes I say it, or create or change it. Can you please remove the tightness in my shoulders now? Yes. Will you please remove the tightness in my shoulders now? Yes. Please remove the tightness in my shoulders now. Yes. Thank you. I know that sounds so weird, but you're asking and you're receiving, and there's a magic with the first part of it. It's part of a dynamine Huna technique, but I couldn't always put my hand together like this and do the tapping, but I knew that if I just put my hand there and I stated it, so for instance, I feel very nauseated in my stomach, and you have to locate it. I feel very nauseated in my stomach right now, but this can change. Please remove the nausea from my stomach now. Create or change it. Can you please remove the nausea in my stomach now? Yes. Will you please remove the nausea in my stomach right now? Yes. Please remove the nausea in my stomach right now. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so this is wonderful for pain, whatever pain, or even emotions. So there's a shortness in my breath on my chest. There's a shortness of breathness. There's a shortness of breathlessness in my chest, but this can change. Please restore my breathing for a state of harmony. Can you please restore my breath to the state of harmony? Yes. Will you please restore my breath for the state of harmony? Yes. Please restore my state of breath for harmony. Yes. Thank you. So I would do this as I was laying in bed with all of the stuff, and it would go away in 5 minutes. The energy doesn't always stick. You just have to ask for it again and again. And then you do the pico breath. Breathe in deeper exhale slower. So everything needs integration. Everything needs integration. Okay, so release the time and how it's supposed to happen and stay with it for about 2 minutes and it will release, especially if you do the pico breath. Okay, and then just putting your hand there. This is magnificent. Honestly, it is that easy that we think it's got to be harder and we try to control it, but it is that surrender. And it is surrendering to receive, surrendering to receive. So, when I came home, the voice, it's actually really, really fun. It's so fun. Okay, you're home now. You're home now. You can relax and rest. It is so loving. And sometimes it's almost like a naggingness, you know? It'll like tap, 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 tap. You're doing it again. Tap, 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 tap. You're doing it again. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Just settle in. Just settle in. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And it just is like this fun voice. And I don't know if I want it to go away. Sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. So one of the things the first day I had to do was actually just rest. And then the second day was a day of nourishment and also moving my limbs. And so one of the things I really needed was this Namarsa Massage Pro Gun. This one is different than all the others. And I didn't know why I needed it in October when I ran into Ricardo, the owner, at a event that I was doing. And he didn't even have to tell me more because I was all about like stimulation and percussion and moving my lymphatics and vibrations. And so this thing here is really, really powerful. Okay, it's got 8 different attachments. And the 2 that I really, really like right now is this one here, because this will help stimulate my organs and my parts here. And it's very, very light, very, very light, just to move it, because you have to move your lymphatic system. Yeah, and so then I will also put my hand on it because your fingers have electric magnetic fields and that helps vibrate it. So one of the things that is really, really like depleted for me are my legs. My legs have withered down to nothing. And so what I really love is this, where there's the meridians right here. And so it will give movement to it so that the limbs move. So there's stimulation. Now, I always have intention when I do these things that it moves me. Okay. So this one here is also really great for this area, but it just moves all of your limbs so that things can flow and so it can detox. This one is another attachment that I really love. Okay. And when I first get up, things have to move and I have to check in with my body. And before I go to bed, I also use it as well. This is really weird, but there's a point right here. It's your first chakra, your root chakra, okay? And it needs to be stimulated. So I like this attachment for it, but I will just place it first of all on my sciatica to help release, and it's just gentle, you don't press hard. And then I will just have it actually right where my pubic bone is to stimulate that. So I've been doing energy work where it goes up with the breath work. It starts from the bottom and then goes to the pineal gland and tightens, and then releases for 2 minutes. But this here, I will just put the vibration on my chakra, on my root chakra, and it will help move everything. Yeah, I know, so weird. But you have to have your lymphatics move, and so that the energy flows. You can't have stuck energy, and also it helps with detox. So then there's the point right here, your gallbladder and your nervous system, and you don't even have to do it very long, but it will release. But this thing is on a timer as well, so I just put it on my root chakra until it is finished. I can't tell you enough how this stimulation is really good for all of your meridians. Because if you can't stand and you can't move it, you have to find another way for the energy to move. So if you want to get one of these Namarsa Pro guns, you can go onto their website and then put TWE at checkout, and you'll get free shipping. You'll also get a discount, and I also get a slight referral fee. But this thing is a game changer. So it's on my snip feed, everything is actually on my snip feed, and that's snipseed.co/So Boutique. I'll have it in the video prompt, but in it will have all the things I'm recommending. You can still do my 28-day defusing program because it's on an automatic sequence of like some things with the tools, and it'll help explain the tools that I just explained earlier. And one of the biggest things though with this whole thing is the essential oils, because scent and sound and vibration and resonance are what moves your body up. And so I would actually just open up the essential oil, not even put it on me, and I can smell it and it will help me harmonize. And this is actually the essential oil that I'm using, Harmony. So everything is always working out for you. And there's just so many layers to this, so many layers. And I hope that in the messy middle, you will find your answer. And it is only helping you. It is only helping you. And I am praying for your highest good too. And know that you are not being punished and that there is a gift in this. There are so many gifts in this. So like the voice that I'm channeling now or whatever, like soon you will see the magic that will be. Soon you will see the magic that you will be. You just need to tell your story. Yeah, right now it may not all make sense. Right now it does not make sense. Right now I know it doesn't make sense. But trust in the path. Trust in your path. We are helping you out. You are being totally guided. You are being totally supported. It will all be okay. It will all be okay. Now, just remember to laugh, because it's all really funny. It will be funny later, and you will see the humor. You will see the humor. Your story will help inspire others. Your story will help inspire others. And even though I feel crazy right now, and if this is just hallucination or whatever, by just setting this out there, it actually sets the crystalline grid for healing and creates a ripple effect. And it will only reach those that need it. I don't need to reach 100 people. I just maybe need to heal four. And then they will heal 4. And then they will heal 4. Have faith and trust and know that this, whatever you're experiencing, is a gift. See the gift. Feel the gift. I love you. You're gonna be okay. There's magic in it. This is just another layer for you to receive. This is another layer for you to receive. None of us receive, or we think we need to work for it, that it needs to be harder, that it needs to be in control. Community is all around you. Support is all around you. This is about self-love. This is about being deserving. And this is about receiving. So let go. Let go. Let go. You are loved. You are loved.